What's going on, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. I hope you're getting ready to enjoy your New Year's. I picked a couple things up for work today from the Home Depot. Nothing too big or fancy, but it's an item that you may have seen on the tool truck and you may have seen it online that can be kind of expensive. I just bought a different version of it for half the cost. So you guys can almost predict what I got here. But here is some butane. I got some bungee cords because, you know, keeping stuff out of your way while you're working on stuff is a must. And mine have kind of lost some of the elasticity. And I bought some Rosin core solder for small electrical wire fixes. And a cordless soldering iron, which you guys can see here. This kind of looks like the one from Power Probe. Doesn't come with the fancy case, but it does have a few different things. You get the little iron that it comes with it, the torch, and a heating portion. So this is kind of cool. So what I'd like to do here, and I'm getting ready to grab some heat shrink and some wire, is I'm going to open this up. We're going to fill it up with butane, and we're going to see how good it seems to work, and go from there. So let's check it out. Alright, let's put some butane in. Whoa. Must be full already. That was pretty quick. Thought it would have taken a little bit longer. Maybe I didn't have it fully upside down. Alright, so we got it set on between 2 and 3. There's continuous, and that's off. I don't really see a lot of movement here out of this button. Let's see, do you push down or push up? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So before we actually light it, let's talk about this. So there's the little soldering probe right there. If we unscrew this, then we get the heating portion or heating element. And I'm thinking that if we removed this completely, we should have our torch version right there. I think what we're going to go ahead and do is put all this back on and utilize the soldering iron first. So let me set this off to the side. Let's get our ashtray here into position. Let's get ourselves a piece of wire, which we'll cut in the middle-ish. And then we'll strip some of the insulation back and off. Not my favorite wire strippers in the entire world, but in a pinch, they'll work just fine. I might have tried to cut too much. Let's go here. Come on, baby. There we go. Whoop. See, I don't like them because you cut into the wire and you pull some wire out. But this is just a little demo. I don't like these strippers. Preferably, what I like to do is to take a lighter and heat it up and then peel it off. But because I'm dragging so much of it out, I think we'll just keep using these for right now. I got these nifty ones that pinch and pull the wire, and I can remove as much as I need/want to. And they don't take nearly as much time. You don't have to worry about them stripping wire. All right, anyway. So now we're going to do is just going to put these together like so. Trying to keep it as thin as we possibly can because we will be using solder for this. We'll just kind of twist them together. Cool. All right, now let's see if we can get this little thing to fire up. Oh, okay. Continuous. That's what happens. You got to get it lit first, then you can move it over here to continuous. Well, while that's heating up, let me just open up some of this Ross & Core solder that we picked up. I'd set it down, but I don't want it to melt the ashtray. There we go. Alright, we'll just pull us out some solder here. Let's see how this thing works, shall we? Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly coat the tip if it's ready. I don't know that it's ready yet. No, I think we got to let it heat up a little bit still. Let's see. There we go. Now it's slowly taking it. So I'm just going to kind of get a little bit on there. I'm going to pull some through. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck it underneath the wire. I have this really nifty little wire thing at work that works great. It holds the wire in place. Alright, I know you guys can't see it, but the wire is starting to change color, so we might be able to start feeding it in. Oop. What a terrible example, huh? There we go. Looks like it's starting to take it. There we go. Just like so. Alright, now we can switch this to off. Let that cool off. Ideally, I'd like a little sponge to clean the solder off of the tip, and I may very well go and get something like that momentarily. But for the meantime, we're going to let this cool off, and we'll see how the heating portion works. Alright, now that we got it cooled down, get ourselves a little piece of heat shrink over here. We got to take this tip off. We're going to see how well it works with the heat shrink. Now, I don't want to use a big piece because this stuff can be costly. But it is the, is that it? I think this is the marine heat shrink. You can pick it up at Harbor Freight. Some of these pieces I've had, I kind of mixed in some from the dealership, little pieces that I had extra. We're going to slide this on. I'm just curious to see how the heating element works on this. So we're going to leave that intact like so. The reason why I say I think this is the heating element is because if I take this piece out, you can see there's a little screen in there. So this should just be the heating element. So we'll slide that back in. Do the same thing, safety switch. Push and hold. Set to continuous. Now let's just see how well it works. You can see if I move it around a little bit, I'm able to get a nice heat shrink around the whole thing. And what I'm waiting for is just a little bit of the glue to start coming out the other side, but just by moving it around, you can see I'm getting a nice, clean heat shrink wrap around the wire. Alright, that looks really good. Now, let's see if you accidentally hold this too much in one place. I'm spinning the wire around too just to show you guys. And you can see it is cooking it. So you do have to kind of move it around, but that is just the heating element, no torch. So you want to, keep it moving around, obviously, and not hold it in one particular spot. But that works rather nice. I'm digging that. That's cool. It's a good feature. Just push it to the off position, turns it off. We can set it down for it to cool down. Alright, so not a bad tool to pick up for $1999? 1997, made by Bernzomatic from Home Depot. Less than 20 bucks, maybe a little over 20 bucks after tax. But in comparison to the Power Probe version, which could cost you anywhere between $50 online and possibly $65 or more on the tool truck, and it has the three most common features you're going to use out of something like this, I think it's a great option. Now, I have actually utilized just the smoke and torch kind of deal that you can pick up from the gas station. Look, it works okay in certain situations, ideal situations where it's no longer in the car, but in the car, surrounded by the entire wiring harness, just trying to make one small repair, I think something like this can be extremely beneficial to you, because rodent damage knows no bounds. Those little critters will chew through just about anything. And it's nice to have something like this that you can have a little bit of control with no cord attached to it, which allows you to get into tighter spots. Having a heating element is almost essential, because you don't want to just torch something, because having that flame, you could accidentally torch the rest of the harness, melt other wires together, etc. Having a light amount of heat, and then just having it ever so much, backed off of the wire or the conduit, and being able to just sit there and it's just, look, it's a wonderful tool to have at your disposal if you're fixing wires. Even down to the lube tech. Lube techs might actually be asked from their shop foreman, service writer, service manager, hey, can you fix that wire? And if the answer is yes, you might want something like this. Now, when you get to the bigger gauge stuff like 10 gauge or 12 gauge, obviously you're gonna need something that has a little bit more juice, a little bit more, heat behind it, and something like this might not work for 12 gauge, but for small little wires, I'm saying between maybe 14 and 18 gauge, it's gonna work just fine. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I will try to find the links for the Power Probe version online if you want to go specifically with Power Probe. But I urge all of you to give this a shot from Home Depot. Look, 20 bucks is 20 bucks, and save yourself a little bit of money. For a tool like this, it doesn't need to be expensive. I think this is going to last me a great deal, and it doesn't seem to take up very much room. Once it's all cooled down, it's got a nice little, little clear, put it over the top here. Still has little areas for it to protect the tool itself. Now, it doesn't come in a case, but it's up to you if that's what you're looking for. I think less is more. Sometimes a tool not taking up a lot of room in my toolbox is still a good tool. That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. Hey, Happy New Year. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Hit the like button if you like the video. Hit the dislike if you dislike the video. And we'll see you guys next time. Deuces.